on mine. All the equipment you see here is 100% genuine. Yeah, now this mine was operating from 1902 to 1911, so a little while ago. It was one of the poorer mines of Ballarat. We think when it was working it made about 800 kilos of gold, whereas the richer mines of Ballarat, they were making around 21,000 kilos of gold. Yeah. Now if we see over here, we've got the shaft. So with the shafts, they could go up and down 11 stories. Now if we see here, we can see how far deep the miners actually went. So at the moment we're about 20 metres underground or 60 feet, whereas the miners, they could often go hundreds and hundreds of metres deep. Wow. Yeah, we're only going to stay at 20 today though. I'm not going to put you through that. So, yeah. Does anyone have any questions so far?
So this is supposed to, or it's meant to go down?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, so we've just made it so it stays there.
It's just to go up back to the surface.
What's that sound?
What sound?
Those are just recordings, right?
Yeah, just recordings mainly.
What about the water sound?
I'm glad you asked that, so we're going to have a look at that in a moment. So if you come out to the... Alright, testing. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. So first off, you may have noticed the water. Now, a big problem in Ballarat back in this period was flooding. So they had to figure out a way how to get most of the water out. Now if we see over in that far left, we've got a pump. So that pump connects to another machine at the very top. So before you went underground, does anyone remember seeing a machine above you going meow, sort of?
Okay.
Yeah? So those machines connect to each other and they help pump out water in the mines. So it's really, really important for us to have. Alright, so now this place here, we call this the shaft area. So before you went underground, does anyone remember me pointing out a poppet head? That very big tower? Yeah. Excellent. So we're directly 20 metres below that right. He had a really, really important job. So his job was, if he hears the bell being rung twice, it is then his job to bring it twice back. So communication was really important in the mines, and he was left alone for pretty much his whole shift. Now if you rain, say, 6 or 7 times by accident, that's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, now the shaft itself looks quite small, don't we think? Yeah, so it was originally designed for 1, maybe 2 miners, and they could carry their gold and their quartz up there with them. However, though, miners did often get pretty creative. You could actually fit about 5 men on there. Yeah. Now, if you're really, really silly, today to see the gold. Now, this is what we call a quartz reef or a quartz vein. So we've got the quartz, which is the rock-looking stuff, and then we've got the gold in the middle. Now, we can see it's on a 45-degree angle, and we've got these little lines at the very top. So these are what we call indicators. These help the miners find these reefs. Now, with the gold in the middle, do we think this is real gold at all, anybody?
No.
Oh, we've got a few skeptics, that's fine. So that right there, it is in fact real gold leaf. So it's only painted on. It's only a little bit real. The quartz though, on the other hand, that is 100% real. Yeah, we cannot steal anything though because security here. Yeah, so the quartz though is 100% real, but it's pretty hard to steal though. Security here is pretty good. However though, has anyone been to the gold panning yet?
No.
No, that's okay. So I do very highly recommend the gold panning because you might actually find a bit of gold for yourself. It might be something like that, it might not be, you never know. Now, you're probably thinking, how do we get this gold out from the quartz? There were 2 ways we could do that in this mine. We'll have a look at those right now. So I'm just going to come out towards our left. Okay. Thanks. So the other guy would have held together that pole in the middle. We call that the gad or the tap. So the man with the hammer, he would have lifted it. He would have smashed the gad right into the quartz and it would have split it that way. And that's how they could find the gold just that bit easier. Now sometimes the gold and the quartz did get a bit stuck in the tap. So the man controlling that, he would have given it a few little twists and turns, maybe a quarter turn. He also would have unthreaded it. Not really the most technologically advanced of things in the world, but the miners did their best with what they had. Look at that right now. So I'm just going to come out towards our left. was invented in the 1870s, and it was run on compressed air, so it could often get pretty loud. Now, being the 1870s, yeah, exactly, you lose your hearing. So many of the miners, they lost their hearing within about 6 months of using these. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. Also, if you are also really unfortunate, what could happen was some of the dust and the quartz, it could get into your mouth, down your throat and into your lungs. It could make you pretty sick. So back then it was known as miner's complaint. Today we now know it as silicosis. And it can quite severely damage your immune system. So something as simple as a common cold.
Gold explode from the TNT?
Not that I'm aware of. No, the dynamite definitely exploded though.
But could it collapse the mine?
There was a chance of the mines collapsing, yep. So mining was quite a dangerous occupation, so you had to really be prepared for anything. Yep. No. No, so diamonds are pretty hard.
To off your flash.
அது இவன் பிடிச்சான்ல
Dope, it means step. Now you may notice this part of the mine, it does look a bit different to the other parts of the mine. The reason being is because this part of the mine, it is what we call an independent mine. The rest of the mine we've seen, the Normandy mine, was owned by a company. Now the difference between the two is that with an independent mine such as this, any gold you found, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's got another job though. I take it we've got wooden floors at home, yeah? Yeah, what happens when we stand on wood? So kind of creaks. Yeah, so if we've got anything starting to rumble up here, it won't stay, don't worry. The wood would start creaking, timbers would start talking, and you would start running. Yes. Now that is the miner's cue to get out of here. So they would have gone down this ladder down here, it's just a couple meters deep, and they would have headed up north over that way. Now just a random little question. Has anyone here been to the candle makers yet? No, that's okay. So if or when you do go to the candle makers, you might notice that next to it there's like a well or a wishing well. So this right here is a gold bar. Now, unfortunately for us, this is not real. If it were real, I don't think any of us would be here today. Yeah. However, though, this is about 5 kilos worth of gold, which is what we think the miners here would have found. So 1 gram of gold today, it's worth around 120 Australian dollars. So this right here, if this is real, we're looking at just over $600,000. Yeah, so it's quite a lot of money. It would have set the miners up for life too. Now, if we just have a quick look over here, we do see that the miners would have started caving in, wood would have started creaking, timbers would have started talking. You get the idea. Yeah, so the miners are pretty smart like that. They valued their lives more than they did the gold. Alrighty folks, now what we're going to do is we're going to